feeling quite centered.
One who is centered does not speak of a centeredness.
Oh, yeah. Maybe do it again then, because I'm feeling quite centered. Yeah, okay, now I'm feeling nothing.
Good evening.
Welcome to Karl Marx Does the Washing Up.
I'm Ilyas and Shy.
I'm Shy.
And today, I was thinking we could talk about... Well, my dad said something to me this morning, and...
Over breakfast?
Well, we were in the car, just wandering, driving around, cruising, father son time.
Yeah. I like that neither you or your father obviously have anything better to do on a Monday morning. No, obviously no work needs to be done.
This was work. This is important stuff in life. We're questioning the deep stuff.
Yeah.
/ him just giving me a lecture.
Yeah, okay.
But so basically he said that we were talking about kids and relationships or whatever, and he said to me, but in your generation, you guys will just have technological babies. Where you can just turn them on and off when you want a baby.
That's the dream. Wait, turn them on and off when you want the baby, or turn the baby on and off?
Huh?
Turn the baby on and off, or turn when you want the baby on and off?
No, turn the baby on and off. Like, what do you mean? No. Turn the baby on and off. I was just like, I don't know if I can handle... I was saying, I don't know if I don't know how to look after myself. How am I going to know if I can look after another person?
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, but you don't need to worry about that. Your generation will just turn babies on and off when they want them.
But also, why do you think that you need to look after yourself to be able to look after someone else?
Yeah, I know. It's a sort of I guess. I mean, it's a fair line of logic. It's just, I think sometimes it's a lot easier to look after other things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's actually easier.
And
to
sometimes
look
easier
after a
to
baby.
love something else and hate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I think you would be a great father, but useless at
looking after myself.
Human being.
Yeah, exactly. No, of course. So what was your dad's advice?
I am not convinced. I feel like you could definitely drop your kid out the window.
Yeah, but this is all...
But he would definitely have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but also all these... So I find it really difficult to talk about kids because it's just so hypothetical. I don't know what kind of father I'll be. I don't even know if I'll be a father, right? It's just such a hypothetical situation. But what was your father's... Did he offer any life advice?
No, he said just don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it?
You can just turn it off when you don't want it.
Does that mean just give it to the mother? Is that what that means? Or it just means literally there'll be a switch?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm 30
mean
years
a
old.
sleeping
He
tablet?
obviously doesn't have much hope. Because by the time the baby... He either thinks it's Apple are releasing an on and off baby next month.
Yeah.
Or he's talking about a dystopian future in at least 20 years' time. But he's not expecting me to grow up in the next 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but you could be a father when you're 60 for the first time. That's not outside the realms of possibility.
Yeah, but you've got Indian parents. They don't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not the general gist of how things go.
Yeah, I didn't know you were having these fears.
What, me having fears of, well, I guess it's I haven't really... I quite like kids, but it hasn't crossed the...
Yeah.
But I do feel the idea of commitment. That is the most... the hardest thing is that once you have a baby, then you have a baby. It's not when you go for dinner and you have anxiety about whether you should eat this or that, but then you don't have to eat that dish for the rest of your life. Well, no, with a kid you do.
Yeah, but then won't the converse happen in that you maybe just will stop caring about... You won't be thinking all evening about what you're going to eat for dinner because you have a fucking baby.
No, I'll be thinking, what is the baby going to eat for dinner?
Yeah, but I think
breast milk.
I think it would just become more decisive because you'd have less time to be indecisive.
Be a dick about things, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Also, I mean, when you have a baby, they're only a baby for 18 years.
Yeah, but then they become something else.
Yeah, but then they'll leave the house.
18 years. Yeah,
yeah, 18 years. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whereas indigestion can last a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I think your dad's advice not to worry about it is good advice. But I feel like he must have said something. He must have said something.
Yeah, I think he would like us to have children. But also, it's they're of that generation, and I think especially being Indian, yeah. there isn't any kind of considered possibility that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
there's no idea that you wouldn't get married and have children. That's just what happens. It's just it's the same as gravity or the sun.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah, but actually, no. But I mean, my parents see that as the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to get married and have children, and I don't know if that's...
And evade gravity.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know if we're that different to that. I mean, what do you...
No, I think we're just like delaying things. We're just postponers.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe marriage I can maybe live without, but I do definitely want to have children. I think so do you.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just want to be children for longer than our parents wanted to be.
Do you think that do you see yourself still as a child?
Maybe our parents just didn't parent us well enough. They're parenting us too well.
And we can't break free of it.
Yeah, well, we're just like, we quite like being children. Yeah. I think our generation, we're all kind of children, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, is it because our parents have been a bit too smothering? Is that what you're saying?
I guess. Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Is your mother a smotherer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What Indian mother isn't a smotherer?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But isn't your fear that you will also be a smothering parent? That's my fear.
I don't think I'd be a smothering parent.
Yeah? You'd be quite a distant one.
No, I don't think I'd be distant. I'd be very involved. But I just wouldn't be... I would just be like, are you asking the right questions? I'd be just more concerned with whether he's looking at the sky or not.
Yes.
I think that was my main issue. Like, Sabrina always thinks... She's like, why aren't you more a protective brother? I'm like, well, it's not... If you want to fall off something...
Sorry, that's nothing fine. To do with you. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're not ready to be a parent. But
I think I might have like quite strong fears. Like I might be scared that he might die or she might die.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't be. But I wouldn't smother them because of it. I would just like anxiously like jump into a well by myself and cry myself to sleep. But I wouldn't be smothering. I would just be like.
Well, okay.
I'd be just like, how many clouds did you see today?
Yeah. Well, okay. But how do you feel about? So how do you feel about the fact that maybe we haven't really committed to anything in our lives for as long as it would take, like in a similar way that the commitment to a child would require?
Well, like season 3 is like teenage years of a person, right?
You think we're already at the teenage years of the podcast? No, I feel like we're still in the infancy.
Yeah, we're still in infancy.
Yeah. We definitely got...
But we're in the teenagehood of infancy.
Yeah, exactly. So what's that? It means that we're walking?
It's like where the internet is.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Are we still wearing nappies?
Are we still wearing nappies?
I feel like I'm potty trained, but I feel like still wearing a nappy. Because I don't always want to use the potty.
Yeah, I feel like you're still wearing a nappy. You smell a lot when you come to these things, but no, I think I've graduated.
You've graduated?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just shitting in my pants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. I think we're past nappies. We're in like 10. We're like 10, 9, 8, 9, 10.
Well, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9. We haven't hit double digits yet.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're definitely 9. Okay, no, I can get on board with that. Fine.
But I also think the thing with our podcast is we don't actually. It's also quite regressive often.
It's quite regressive.
Yeah. So we don't age forward. We're like Benjamin Button.
Oh, we're aging backwards.
Yeah. Well, backwards and forwards. So he's like non-linear aging.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Of course. I mean, we don't believe in time, for example. Yeah. But
it's like a good fungus or soya bean.
Yeah.
Kombucha.
Yeah, and also maybe there'll be episodes in which we age rapidly, and there'll be episodes in which we regress rapidly. But I feel like you were going somewhere with this story. Yeah,
so I just think like this idea of patience and commitment. Like if you have a child, I think it was like a joke that my dad made, but it's also a really poignant point in the sense that I think nowadays we just don't have the patience for things that don't bring us joy immediately.
I think that's definitely true.
And we don't, and because of that, then we have a fear of commitment.
Yeah, but I mean,
we've been offered so many choices. We like we said that our parents don't think there's any other option. It's because it just was the way when they grew up.
Yeah.
Now, even if it's just to do with like globalization and the internet, and we see and just like so much knowledge about different ways of different people living. Now we realize that you can live in so many different ways. You could, adopt a tofu if you want, or whatever it is. So then the choice is much larger, and then we don't need to know how to make a decision. And then life makes its decision for us. Yeah, but is it because there's just so many more novelties available to us that we can live so many different lives? And we can just try them and they'll bring us joy for a short period of time, and then we just move on to the next one, right? Yeah, true. We have an access to a lot of hedonism. Which
Is it
very,
hedonism, you think, though?
Well, not even hedonism, but just pleasures that are very hard to say no to.
But
Like,
even
because we're very fortunate, right?
yeah, but I don't think it's just it depends on your definition of pleasures. Like we've got access to a lot of different spiritualities, access to a lot of different
but that
forms of nature.
Yeah, but I think that often prevents it. Like the thing is when you have Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity,
Not to
right?
mention like Scientology, Mormonism, all the other ones.
Yeah. Well, then it's hard to really become religious in any one of them, or like truly get into the depth of whatever the spirituality. They may all take you to the same place, but you don't really get there because you're like, I'll do a month in Islam, I'll do a few months in Buddhism. Whereas if you grow up in a small village in wherever, and everyone's Muslim, then you're just like, well, everyone's Muslim. This is what you do. You do the Muslim thing.
So are you saying for us to achieve patience and commitment, we've got to move to a small village?
Yeah, pretty much. You inhabit the small village inside yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Is that why you don't leave your bedroom?
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
And that's why there are plants everywhere.
Yes, exactly. So I've got to come over here to see you.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. No, but I think there's definitely truth, and I think I really struggle if someone or something doesn't bring me joy. I'm very quick to let it go.
Yeah.
And I think that it's in every walk of my life, because my job.
Or at least question it.
Yeah, at least I question its necessity.
Yeah, or like, well, should I be doing this? Should I be having joy? Is this good for me? Am I meant to be here? Is this that kind of nonsense?
But do you think that's a lack of patience, or it's just a lack of understanding, or it's just an inability to be unhappy, or you think it's a lack of patience?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's patience. Yeah, well, it's like I think everybody acts in the same way. It's just, I think this is quite circumstantial in terms of mostly a lot of our generation are very like, we're very fortunate. I mean, at least our socioeconomic.
Yeah, of course.
We're very fortunate.
We're privileged, right?
And we're very privileged that we have all these choices. And I think once you have the choices, then you become naturally kind of, analytical about which choices are like which is a better choice. So then it becomes this like paralysis of analysis, right?
So, as in the choice is paralyzing.
Yeah, the choice is paralyzing, and so you don't even think to exercise patience because there's something else.
But really, what you're saying is then our parents' ability to be patient and committed is really just down to a lack of choice.
Yeah.
It's not that they're actually more patient or committed than us.
Well, now, because they had a lack of choice, they've developed the virtues of patience and commitment.
Okay.
So they arise out of that, and so they are more patient and committed than we are, but they weren't naturally that way.
But then are you saying that we're naturally not meant to be patient and committed?
No. I'm just saying that the circumstances allowed them to cultivate a virtue that our circumstances don't promote necessarily. Right?
Yeah, but I think actually what you're saying is that it's not circumstantial. That actually it's innate within us to be not patient and not committed.
Yeah, I think it's innate within us to sort of kind of go for the shinier thing, or be alluded to the thing which is more presently joyous, most apparently joyous, right? Which the new thing normally is, right?
Even if it's only for a fleeting moment, right?
Even if it's only for a fleeting moment, because there's another shiny thing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
After that, so I think it's natural for us to go to whatever fruit looks.
Yeah, well, the counter argument to this has always been, that if you do something in a committed manner, if you're committed to something, there'll be a deeper sense of joy.
Yeah, exactly. But I do also think that it's not, I don't know if it's natural or not, but like in this society we have an over fixation on the tangible or the forms or the aesthetics rather than the inner essence of things. I don't know if things were different before, but we neglect the intangible because it's not apparent. You understand the intangible things once you've actually gone into the depths of something. So you understand these like virtues of patience that develop when you
I completely agree. But if there's too many things, then you don't have time to get into the intangibles of anything.
Yeah. And when have you like watched an advert on TV and they're selling you patience?
Yeah, I completely agree.
They're selling you the shiny thing of things. They're selling you sexiness and freedom.
Oh, so what you're saying is that really we should be selling patience. There's like a gap in the market here to sell patience.
Obviously, we are just a capitalist podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Find our marketing USP.
No, but I really do agree with you. But I don't think these are theories that we've necessarily just had now. I think that a lot of people listening.
I think everybody
agree. Yeah,
everybody like it's quite. Yeah. It's a basic like sort of postmodern phenomenon, or not even postmodern. It's just like
But is there a way?
Anything interesting or revolutionary really?
But is there a way to become more patient and more committed without radically altering your lifestyle by, for example, moving to a smaller village or cutting off your access to like a plethora of things and like only...
Is that radical or not radical?
I think that's quite radical.
It is quite radical.
Shift
I think
in
it's
your life.
radical.
Yeah, but is there a way to achieve patience and commitment without radically shifting your life?
I think just decide to do it and commit. But before you do that, you have to commit to doing that, right?
Yeah.
So how do you make the commitment to commit?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But then how do you choose to commit to something? So I'm committed to commitment, but what do I choose to be committed to?
It doesn't really matter.
Oh, really?
If you're committed to commitment, then you just do the thing that whatever something resonates, and then when you want to leave it, you don't.
Fine. So why don't I just, if I apply this to my life, why don't I just go on a date and then commit myself to that next person for at least a year?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think that's like an emotionally healthy thing to do?
Well, I don't think...
you're right. I should just stop thinking about it. Just commit.
No, but I mean, not just like to any... Like, you should get on with somebody, feel resonance with them, la la la. It's not just about like, okay, let's date a rock or something.
Yeah, but I think my counter-argument would be that if I actually dated someone for a year, probably would get along with them.
Yeah. Well, that's the basis of like arranged marriage, right?
Yeah, you just get to know each other.
Yeah, you get to know it. But like, I mean, when we talk about our generations, like a lot of our, grandparents or whatever were arranged marriage, and so it's just that patience and virtue and everything is just built into the system. It's like, no, you don't have a choice. This is just what you're doing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then figure it out.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. What is this shit? Figure it out.
Oh, but do you also think that we've lost that inability to figure stuff out? Because we only experience joy when things do go wrong. We don't actually problem solve. We just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Yeah?
I mean, like, I'm saying it as if, like, I've tried...
Yeah, you've overcome this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the worst at this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm always after the shiny thing. And commitment's very... Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I live by the air as well.
You're pretty committed to God, though. You've always been quite committed. God requires a pretty big commitment.
I don't know how. I don't think I've really committed very, very, like... I don't think religiously or ritualistically I've committed that much. I think You're
pretty committed to the idea of nature. Or like, there being peace in nature, or there being God in nature.
Yeah, but committing to an idea in concept... I mean, for us, it's quite a big step. But generally, it's not really like... The truth of the commitment is how much you like integrate that into your life and you manifest it. And I think our issue is that I struggle to commit to a lot of things because I find it intellectually dishonest to
commit to something,
to have an asserted point of view, and that's what our podcast is. Really, it's like radical openness, right? But how do you achieve a sense of radical openness? Which, to be honest, maybe we've committed to that. But how do you achieve that and also like build the foundations for things in your life? And I think that's why people don't have a certain level of openness often, is because it can be really ungrounding.
But you think commitment is more likely to be a foundation base for creating a life, for building a life?
What do you mean? Commitment is?
Yeah. Like...
What do you mean? I mean...
So
you're building something. Once you work on something and you build it, like it's already a commitment, right? You're already like working on something. It doesn't have to, maybe something changes and it's not your life commitment and you shift, but that actual like work to build a foundation, right?
Yeah. Okay. But you think that we're hampered? We can't possibly do that because we're trying to be radically open. And
I think we can do it. I think it's a more ambitious. Like you said, I think we're somewhat good at this in the sense that, like you said, I've kind of built a sort of, I have a kind of faith in God or an idea in God, but I also am totally open to the idea that God doesn't exist, that every faith could be right, and that the Earth might not be flat. There's Scientology and all these sort of things, but at the same time, there seems something resonant in a mystical God, which is born out of nature.
Yeah.
So I developed to cultivate that in our lives.
No, I agree, but maybe we're thinking about it the wrong way. Maybe we're just talking in a grandiose way about things that we've committed to, when really maybe we just need baby steps. Like, just commit to cereal every morning.
I think that's
drinking
true.
every kind of, like, one type of water.
No, I think that's definitely true. Like, once you kind of like, but it's just because it trains a muscle.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so you don't like, and then you build up to babies.
Yeah, but also I quite like the idea that maybe it's innate within us to not be committed.
Yeah, you like that because you have a fear of commitment.
Yeah, well, exactly. But maybe there is some truth in that. And I don't mean it in terms of like a polyamory way versus monogamy or something. But it could be that we're not meant to be committed to anything. Like, even in terms of our diet, a varied diet is better than eating the same thing every day.
Yeah, nutritionally speaking, it is.
Yeah,
right?
nutritionally speaking, it is, right? And the more people we speak to, the more intelligent we become.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
I
maybe
think
it makes no sense to have any commitment in your life.
I don't know if the commitment seems like a weird. It's very intellectual. The idea of
exactly.
commitment it's like as an idea, it's very intellectual rather than. I don't know. When I think of innate things, I think something much more like instinctual.
But that's why I think commitment isn't innate.
Yeah,
because it requires so much intelligence. It requires so much thought.
Yeah, maybe. But I think the idea of novelty is more like we might be programmed to go for the sweetest fruit, right? Because the sweetest fruit is the healthier, it's got the most nutrition. And so that sort of, if we take that just from a kind of, the actual fruit from the forest, we look for the ripest one, the reddest berry or whatever, and then we just apply that totally throughout the whole construct of like a society that we've built, then I think we're always looking for that. But what is the I think there's a psychosis that enters when you found a pretty sweet berry, but there's a sweeter berry out there.
Yeah, but then
then you don't eat that berry. You just
keep
looking,
yeah.
And eventually you starve.
Oh, so you're saying that you would just completely bypass the berry to look for the sweeter berry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what we do. I think that's what a lot of like the way we date is.
Yeah, and also the way that we work, but also it's not just limited to us. I think that's maybe true of everyone.
I think it's the biggest. It's the great anxiety of our time.
Yeah, would you define it as anxiety?
I mean, I get anxiety from it, but I also am so like I haven't let go of it. Like I still want that. I still like I haven't accepted that.
Yeah, but
I'll just be happy regardless of which berry I eat.
Yeah, exactly. But exactly. So is it an anxiety that you might not eat the sweetest berry, or is it the anxiety that you don't want your search to be over? Like you want to search, or like is it the search that you want, or is it the actual end point of the search?
I mean, if you take the berry analogy, I mean you can search for a berry tomorrow as well.
As in, you can eat the berry and still search for another berry.
Yeah. I mean, but also like in the food thing, I think if we're talking about babies and relationships, like you just have one relationship. You have like you have a few relationships or a few children, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you can have plenty of meals. But there's still an anxiety. People always feel like they need to choose the right dish in a restaurant. Like that's fucking nuts.
Well, also when you and I eat, there's nothing more infuriating than if you order the same dish as me, because we want to try different things, right? We want to be able to share food and.
But does it really matter? Like,
well, no. But then, does anything really matter?
No. That's not like that's not the point I'm getting at.
No. But maybe we've talked too much about commitment. I think patience is what maybe we should have really been discussing.
I don't know. I was quite committed to it. I did.
No, but also patient is also something that I don't think is innate. It also requires a lot of thought. Like, I think it goes against a lot of our fibre of being to be patient.
Well, I think like if we take ideas of like survival and how does the caveman, like what does he need to have in order to eat, right? So I think being able to, like, if you want to kill a deer or something,
You've got to have an
element of patience to be able to just wait until it's the right moment.
But also you've got to train that.
You've got to train that. It doesn't come naturally.
Because innate would be to just chase the deer.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to learn to be patient.
Well, I don't know. But
I mean, obviously we've never hunted. Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but if you take children, for example, they most of the
You're
time
obsessed
babies
with
just...
children right now. What is... Are you really desperate to be a dad? What is happening?
No, but baby, like the best way to look at how our nature is to look at infants, because they've got less conditioning, right?
Yeah, but
So
and they're not patient, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just cry when they want something. They don't think, oh well, lunchtime will be in like 2 hours. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
They're just like food now, poo now.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, but it's also only society that teaches them to be patient. I don't think it's natural learned behaviour.
But then is any virtue learned? Is every virtue learned? Is there such thing as a natural virtue?
So there is that argument that obviously I've just come up with, that that all virtues, the reason why we value virtue so highly is because it goes against your innate desires.
Yeah, and I think our society is very based around rejecting nature.
Well, rejecting our rejecting desire.
Like civilization is this idea of like isolation from, an ecology or a natural, and progressive ideas are normally going away from what is.
I think that might have been probably the most profound thing that we've come up with.
What, that virtue? What did we come up with? What did you say?
That all virtues are just the rejection of our innate desires. All virtues are learned rather than innate.
All virtues are learned rather than innate. I struggle to. I guess maybe I just don't want to believe that. But
what are our?
But do you think? So you think like we're just naturally unvirtuous?
Yeah.
But then, what does virtue? What does virtue mean? Like, as in, like, why do we need to be virtuous then?
Well, for patience and commitment, you're maybe suggesting that you'd be a better father if you had those virtues, if you were patient and committed.
I just think like the natural world is so elegantly designed that the things that we need in order to do the most basic stuff, like eat, feed, raise children, it's we're born with it. Like, sure, things maybe need to be cultivated and they have muscles that can be developed, but most of it's probably there. And then what we talk about conditions or virtues or whatever, those things are maybe important in order to exist in the society we've constructed.
Yeah.
And so are very useful.
Yeah.
And maybe benevolent in that regard.
Yeah.
But but then it means like on a very essential basis, we don't really need any of these virtues. That's what we're really saying. No?
Yeah, that's what we're really saying. But also it'd be impossible to live without them.
I think things like kindness and love and gratitude, I would like to think that they're natural.
Why would you think that, though?
Because I feel that they don't really require... They do seem to arise naturally and don't require so much work, but then to cultivate them does require work. I feel like I've had a lot of sensations of gratitude, of love, of generosity and stuff, which have just arisen naturally. And then there's other moments where I'm like, no, I should be more generous. I should be more loving.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I don't think I've ever had situations where I'm just naturally patient.
So you're almost saying that patience is very different to kindness, love, and gratitude. So maybe patience isn't a virtue. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think so. Maybe there's a difference. Maybe there's a difference between like there's natural virtues and social virtues.
I think there have been times when we're naturally patient.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah,
Are you
I think... No, I think that's true. Like, I think I'm quite patient with a lot of
Yeah.
things, but I don't know if that's... Yeah, it does feel like... But I just don't understand. Some people are like just like shouting at people in like a traffic queue, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just chill out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't mind
yeah,
waiting
yeah,
here
yeah.
for an hour or something.
I mean, but road rage is like...
But I don't know if that's patient. That's just like I'm enjoying the music I'm listening to. Like,
Yeah, I really struggle with the concept of patience. I find it very difficult.
as in difficult to be patient, or to actually accept that it's a positive thing.
Yeah, to accept that it's a positive thing. Like, you know...
But you don't... has it never, like given you positive things in your life? Like, has patience
Yeah.
given you...
Yeah, I just find it a little bit difficult, actually.
Difficult what? To be patient?
Yeah.
No, but you said you don't think it's a good virtue. Like, it's not worth being patient.
No, well, but I think, so when I am patient, for example, I don't refer to it as patience. I refer to it as, holding back or not saying what's on my mind. I don't think I refer to...
But that's restraint. What you're talking about is restraint now. No?
No, but I don't think it's that different to patience.
What? Patience and restraint are the same?
Yeah. Or like,
I don't think patience and restraint are the same, no.
Well, what's an example of you being patient?
Like, just waiting for a doctor's appointment?
I mean, that's still you just exhibiting restraint.
Yeah, but restraint can be something else. Like, I can use restraint in a painting, which is not. It's just understanding that this like, just not putting more paint on the thing will just give a better painting. But I don't think there's any patience involved. Patience has, like, some sort of temporal element to it.
Yeah, okay,
No?
fine. But so does restraint, right? Oh, no, I suppose restraint's more of
No.
an actual action, right?
Right? Like,
Irrelevant
if I restrain
of time.
hitting
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, okay, that's true.
maybe. I mean, at least they're in the same, like,
Yeah, same sort of
Right.
space. Yeah.
I guess you could say that if I restrain from hitting you now, it's because I have the patience that the feeling that I'm having
Will
pass.
dissipate. Yeah,
Dissipate.
exactly, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, okay, maybe that's why I struggle with patience. Because a lot of times I forget that the feelings I'm having now will dissipate. Because I am trying to be more in touch with my feelings and I want to let them out. And I maybe forget to be patient and realise that all these feelings are temporary.
yeah, but you're saying, but so do you think it's positive? Like, to exhibit patience and restraint, is it positive? And is it naturally positive or is it socially positive?
So I think it's socially positive, but I think it's not positive naturally.
Okay.
Like I do want to exist in a space where, regardless of how stupid my feeling is in that moment, I want to let it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just because you want to doesn't mean it's...
No, but I just think it can only be positive to just be a person with a plethora of emotions. Because I think I'm only let out certain emotions. So I want to exist in a space when I let out all my emotions.
Immediately. But I mean, within that sort of... I mean, that's just somebody who's insane, right? Like, no, in this kind of... Well, within our society, the construct of our society, or what madness would be, it's just somebody who really exhibits...
No patience.
No constraint, yeah.
Yeah.
No restraint, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No restraint and no patience.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of the time when you see somebody behaving in what we would consider a crazy way or something, it's because they're actually behaving in ways that you can completely relate with and you would want to relate. You'd want to do. You just know it's, like, sensible not to, because you'll end up in prison or something.
So then maybe...
Do you not find that?
Yeah, for sure. So
or
then,
am I just more insane than I think?
No, so what you're really saying is that we're really committed to living within the constraints of society.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because we naturally think it's beneficial for our survival, like, you know.
But then, for you to say that we have commitment issues is completely wrong. Because we are committed to living within the constraints of society.
Yeah, but, like, to have commitment issue doesn't mean you've never committed to anything. Like, I've committed to shit when I want to shit. Like, it's not really like a commitment, right? I mean, I've committed to eating, I've committed to the basic... things, I've committed to a society. But like,
so why can't you just extrapolate that commitment and commit to a person or commit to
I think that is
a job?
That is what we do. But like, to say you've got commitment issues doesn't mean you've never committed to anything. It just means your commitment is out of balance in terms of what you believe would provide you happiness, right? So I mean, it's not necessary that commitments. I'm not saying commitments necessarily a good thing. It makes sense to say that it's not as well.
Yeah. But okay, wait. So I mean,
but I feel personally that I have derived unhappiness from my ability to just to commit to things. Or
unhappy. Yeah, but okay.
It's more from the anxiety of decision making.
Yeah, of course.
That's one other
the
choice.
plethora of choice. But maybe, yeah, but maybe we're just framing it completely wrong. You know, like we say, it's always about how you frame things. And maybe we're committed to joy.
And not happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think your definition of happiness is different from mine, right? So like, but I'm contentment.
Yeah, exactly. But within that sphere, we both recognise that the novelty causes contentment and joy.
No.
Okay, fine. For me, novelty causes joy, so I'm committed to finding novelty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It causes joy, but not contentment.
Okay.
Joy
so
being short-lived, contentment meaning long-lived.
Yeah, and you're looking for commitment. You're committed to contentment.
I'm not committed to contentment. I would quite like to be.
Okay.
But I feel like this. If I'm really committed to contentment, I would do things more like. I would commit to more things.
Is contentment just when you stop searching for the novelty in life?
Possibly.
Or is it just when you accept, like, the banality of existence?
I think
like the day to day.
I think the general need. I think maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing to do with commitment. Actually, it's just to do with being able to be satisfied in where you are.
Satisfied where I am. I'm pretty satisfied where I am right now.
Yeah, but so maybe that requires a commitment to always podcast.
But actually, surely it would be the opposite. Like, if we're satisfied with our podcast, why do we need to make any more podcasts?
No, you're satisfied in the place that you like, how you feel now. Like, this idea of like eating looking at the red berry and thinking there's a redder berry. That's an anxiety driven of thinking you could be happier than you are, right? And that's what brings the unhappiness. So if you are happy now, whether the berry is red or whether it's not, then you'll be happy, right? And I think a lot of the time is just like with these committed things it's just like not looking elsewhere all the time. So where are we going with this? I think we're gone. We've got it. I don't know where it is, but it's
fine. If you're going to summarize.
Well, I think that's the thing. That is it. If you're here, we're here. We're here, we're here. So be happy in here. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, okay, but we knew that before we started.
Yeah, we knew that before we started, but we haven't known how to know it fully.
And now you know how to know it.
No, still no.
Okay. Fine. Maybe you're committed to learning.
I think I'm committed to seeing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I had a learning, which was that...
You had one learning.
Yeah, I had one learning, which was like that none of the knowledge is really that necessary. As long as I'm looking at everything, I'm happy.
Okay. And you mean physically looking?
No, it's just paying attention to things. And I think learning, I love learning, but not because I need to attain information, but because I like watching something reveal itself in real time.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's what learning is, watching something reveal itself in real time.
I really like that. But seeing if your hypothesis is correct or doing it without judgment.
No, I think having a hypothesis and all this sort of stuff, it's too much. It's too information based. It's not true to what the world is.
So just watching things reveal themselves in real time. Wow. I think to do that, you've got to really engage with everything. I can't be on my phone, for example.
Well, I mean, you can learn what the phone is. No, I mean, I do think just not playing on the phone solves most of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of everything we're talking about, you could just get rid of by putting on the phone. But,
no, but
the phone's its own thing that reveals itself and has learning.
Yeah, I'm really committed to playing on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to take.
Yeah, but you're not. This is this is the crazy thing, is that none of us are like cognitively committed to it, but we're habitually committed to it. None of us have decided I will always be on Instagram, like, you know.
Yeah, but have you not just hit the nail on the head? That we're not cognitively committed to anything. We're just habitually committed to everything.
Yeah.
So same with food, same with maybe our life partner. We're just habitually committed to them.
Yeah. But if you want to have a shift, you maybe need to engage your cognition a little.
Yeah, but even in your thing, if I'm watching things reveal themselves in real time, it's just novelty. You're still just chasing that novelty.
Yeah, but you're allowing... Yeah, it is novelty, but it's novelty on a profound level that allows the banality to exist. It allows mundanity.
Mundanity.
Well, you just derive the natural novelty that exists within transience. Within a universe that is transient, there is nothing that is not novel. There is absolutely nothing that's not novel. But we don't see that.
Yeah, because we're too busy chasing the shinier thing.
Well, it's less apparent. Like if I look at that plant, I look at it every day for the next year. It's changing every day, but it's not changing that apparently. If you say look at that plant and then look at a cup of coffee and then and then look at Super Mario Kart or whatever, you know there's change. Nobody can like
deny that.
But if you spend enough time looking at the same plant for a year, you'll slowly learn that there is a novelty to every moment and to the basic stuff, that your ability to just find novelty is everywhere.
And you think that would lead to a deeper sense of contentment than looking at the plant and then looking at the coffee, then looking at Super Mario?
I reckon so.